Good morning, my dear students. In previous videos, I briefly explained you about the functions and parts of a computer in detail. In this video, I will teach you the second content or the second chapter of your textbook, the CPU. Dear students, the full form of CPU means Central Processing Unit. So this is the full form of CPU. So then why CPU is called the brain of the computer? So this is a question. So why CPU is called the brain of the computer? How a brain becoming the main part of the human body? So like that in CPU in computer system the CPU is the main part of the computer. So why they called the CPU is the brain of the computer. The CPU is called the brain of the computer because it controls the entire working of the computer system. So it is a brain of the computer. It controls the entire working of the computer. It processes the input with the help of the program and gives the output. The CPU processes input according to instructions to generate information. Here, input means data which is given to the computer. So, instruction means program. Then, information means output. The CPU also store process data. That means data means information which you can retrieve whenever you want. In short, the CPU process data and store data, programs and informations. So let's understand some new terms like circuit, chip and motherboard. These three contents are related to the CPU. The first one is circuit. So what is circuit? A circuit is the consist of many electronic parts that are joined together to form a path through which electric current flows. So this is a circuit, like a circuit board in any electrical devices. There's a circuit board which is uh, developed for to flow the current. The next one is chip. What is chip? A piece of material called silicon chip. So the silicon is using for developing the chips. So it is called as silicons. So it has many electronic circuits fixed on it. The CPU is a big chip with many electric circuits on it. It is placed on the printed circuit board called motherboard. So this circuit chip, these are all contained in the motherboard. These are all fixed in the motherboard. When the CPU receives data and instructions from the input devices, it decides what to do, how to do it, and which parts will do it. Let us understand how the CPU actually functions. So components of a CPU. CPU mainly contain the three components. The first one is control unit, second one is arithmetic and logical unit, and third one is memory. So control unit, the short form of control unit is CU, control unit, and arithmetic and logical unit is ALU. This is a short form of arithmetic and logical unit. Now students, see this picture carefully and it helps you understand the concept very easily. So input devices, see that picture, input devices. So here input device is there, arithmetic and logical unit is there, control unit is there, memory unit is there, and output devices. So this five components is there in this picture. So I will explain you one by one. The first one is control unit. So what is control unit? The CU. The control unit, as the name suggests, controls and direct all the operations inside the computer. So it controls all the activities inside the computer system. The control unit receives data from input devices and transfer it to memory. So see here, see the image. The first one input devices. So the control unit receive data from input devices. So input devices, the control unit receive data, then it transfer the data to the memory. So below the control unit, the memory unit is there. So it transfer the data which receiving from the input devices, it transfer to the memory unit. From memory, the control unit transfer the data to ALU, that means arithmetic and logical unit, and also gives the necessary commands to ALU to process the data and produce information, that means result. So first the control unit receive the data from input devices, then it transfer the data which received from the input devices to the memory unit, then the control unit transfer data from memory unit to the arithmetic and logical unit to process the data and produce information. The control unit receives result from the arithmetic and logical unit and again send it to the memory for saving purpose. You say it transferring the data from arithmetic and logical unit to the memory unit. So second one is arithmetic and logical unit. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಈ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಈ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇದು ಹೇಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, you know that a computer can do calculations and comparisons. Earlier days ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಟು ಡು calculations, huge number of calculations within a second, within a minute. So but how does it do all that? Well, all the arithmetic and logical operations are done by special unit of the CPU. It is called arithmetic and logical unit. The control unit receives data from input devices and transfer to memory. From memory, the control unit send data to the arithmetic and logical unit with instructions to perform the necessary operations. So third one is memory unit. So the memory receives data from the control unit and store it. The control unit then send this data to the arithmetic and logical unit for processing and producing the output. The control unit collects this output and send it to the memory for storage. The control unit then instructs the memory to send the output to the output devices.